Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Austria, Victoria 3 as Austria-Hungary. So last part, we sort of started preparing for what was a less than stellar event. Unfortunately, it did end up happening, but surprisingly, it's working out better for us than it did when I was just sort of playing for myself, because as I mentioned at the start of last part, I did already basically play this campaign through to completion, just kind of seeing how things would play out. And this drastically changes things if it continues to play out in our favor. Thing is, I would absolutely love for Bulgaria to toss their 26 troops, battalions. I get it. It's line infantry for the 1st Bulgarian army and the 3rd Bulgarian army. They're not the greatest, but hey, guess what? That's still 26 more battalions being tossed at the enemy that aren't mine that potentially can help us. Oh, okay, there we go. Yep, they just decided to officially start calling themselves Italy now, while still trying to fight a war to unify Italy. Get my timer started. Oh, really? This isn't opening up a southern front against France? I find that very confusing. Oh, no, it does. It just, for some reason... This should be a split front game. I'm sorry. This absolutely should be a split front. There's a whole fucking country between them. Switzerland is still an independent country. This should be one front, and this should be a second front. Victoria 3, for those of you that don't know, when it first came out, had issues with the way the front system worked. The devs made some changes, and in some ways it has improved, but in some ways I do still think it's worse. Maybe not worse, but in some ways it's still not necessarily good. This is one prime example of that. There is absolutely zero reason for this to be one front, because there is a whole country dividing it. Our troops aren't marching into Switzerland and firing across the Swiss border into France. They're just not. It'd be one thing if Switzerland was involved in this war, then sure, you could justify this as one single front. But considering that there is a country that is not involved in this war, between the Alsace part of the front and the Tyrol part of the front, this should be two separate fronts, in my opinion. 100% should be two separate fronts. Victoria 3 has some issues still, is really the best way to describe it. It still has issues. Is it better than it was when the game first came out? Yes, 100%. It's still not perfect, however. There we go. We're reasonably quickly pushing into two Sicilies, which is great, because if we can take over Campania, I think we can turn this war around very much in our favor. Really need Alsace to hold, which means I'm gonna probably have to pull one of our troops to send up there because they do not have the manpower to hold. Or somebody can declare war against France. I'd be fine with that. Somebody go to war with France. There we go, that gets it. Oh, fucking A. Russia left. Well, with Russia leaving, that's not great for us. It's going to significantly slow our push. And weaken our defenses in the north. I think we will survive. It's just, it would be so much better if Russia was still here fighting. Don't know what happened to our relations with Prussia. They just suddenly got worse. Really need this southern front to push a lot faster. I think I'm going to set you to advance front rather than heavy barrage, because heavy barrage has a minus 100 to battle occupation. So even though we kill more enemies, we're not exactly pushing the front. Which is, in some ways, I think more of what we need, really, is to push the front. I think after we take Campania, we might be able to... Okay. Britain changed their government for like the 20th time. France has managed to break through, and they have started taking Alsace, unfortunately. Luckily, Alsace is not too important to us economically. So if we can just get Campania, this will help us significantly, because we'll start getting ticking war score in our favor for ending the war. At least when it comes to cutting down Italy to size, which will force them to release a bunch of their territories. I know, I'm missing a bunch of convoys to be able to ship out these supplies. We'll survive. No, I'm still willing to keep fighting right now, guys. Okay, we managed to retake what France occupied of Alsace. And we have a new party formed. Okay. Fine with that. Oh yes, we've taken Campania. Wonderful. Wonderful. Ooh. Okay. I'm assuming that that's for the white peace and not... not for the war offer that I could actually... Yeah, I thought as much. I'll be fine, actually, if I can't take war reps. I'll be perfectly fine with just taking and knocking Italy down to size. If you can let me do that game, I will be more than happy. Fortunately, I think France brought a bunch of troops down here now all of a sudden, so this is significantly slowing us down. France isn't quite willing to give up, though. Members of the National People's Party have loudly stated the only way to lead us out of the Italy versus Austria-Hungary war is to leave the government of our nation in their capable hands. Yeah, they are truly our most capable people. Yes! Oh shit, are we puppeting two Sicilies? Which is, in the Papal States. Okay, sure. They'll enter our sphere of influence, whatever. Medina, they will enter our sphere of influence. Sardinia, Piedmont, they will enter our sphere of influence. That's not two Sicilies game, but whatever floats your boat. That's the Papal States. What you're calling Italy is two Sicilies. But okay, sure. Let's get rid of all these pop-ups real quick. Now, my question is actually, game, did you release these guys with similar diplomatic or laws as us? Or are they vastly different? Monarchy, landed voting, cultural exclusion. Monarchy landed. Okay, yep. I think we released them with similar laws as us, which is actually great. Makes our life a tad bit easier. Of course, they all proceed to immediately decide that they support Italian unification, so this will not be the end of Italian unification, evidently. France, I'm willing to just take a white piece, if you are. Okie dokie. That went about as well as I could have expected it to. Still not quite as well as I would have liked, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually send some troops to help you out, apparently. And for some reason we have to go all the way around that way. Okay. Oh, I can invite a country to our power block. Oh, Schleswig. Welcome aboard. See, when invited to give a speech on behalf of the Christian Social Party, Lajos, I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, I probably already butchered the first, began extolling the virtues of a strong home, strong borders, and strong men. The public reception was mixed. Old ways for older times and even older fools. Clear Italy arrival because I need the diplomatic influence. And same with the Netherlands because screw you. Okay. Well, the religious revolt won, clearly. We have the United Sovereign Archduchy. which is a silly name because they are significantly larger than what could ever be classified as an archduchy. But whatever. They are in no way interested in any sort of relations with us, it seems, so we are probably not going to bother with them. Though I think I will avoid potentially making a rival out of them just because I don't think that would work out very well for us. You need another general. Intelligentsia. He'll do. Your general died. Okay. I was about to say, I don't know what happened to your general. He just up and disappeared all of a sudden. But okay, it's because he died. Somewhat suddenly. The National People's Party's anti-alcohol policy is hurting their electoral prospects as scores of thirsty voters flock to the Constitutional Party, hoping that change in government will see an end to the country's temperance policies. What is the Constitutional Party? That is the intelligentsia, who I don't really have a problem with, honestly. Yep, no beer, no vote. They're still not winning. But it might help them next time around. I have a mandate available. Creative legislature, this will help us in theory with law changes. Admittedly, I don't really think creative legislature is necessarily the best. The biggest thing it's got going for it is the minus 33% enactment stall chance. They're not bad modifiers, you know. They're really not. But it's probably not the best in some ways. Ideological truth might be better, because I do kind of like that plus 25 minimum legitimacy once you get it up to level 3. But I don't think we're going to do that for now. And also add that, to an extent, our legitimacy is probably going to be even better once certain laws are changed. Just some of those laws are going to take quite a while. Get rid of the conscripts. I don't like conscripts. These law changes will also help us significantly when it comes to dealing with our radicals and loyalists issues down the road, but we need to reach a certain point before we can actually enact some of those changes. I'm gonna go and research socialism next. Yep, that's fine. Go ahead, push in, take them out very quickly. Get this war over with so I can disband you, and you're not sucking up some of our money, because we don't have a ton of money. Blowing a fair bit of it. Blowing a fair bit of it on stuff that I'd rather not be blowing it on. Doing our grass campaign down in Sinai so that we can actually get some people to move down there. No, per capita is not the one that we want, guys. Trust me on this. It's not the one you want. And if we pass it, we'll be sort of locked into it. Graduated, realistically, is the one we kind of want. It gets less money than proportional, but it has the ability to increase standard of living significantly more than proportional, simply because most of its money comes from, if we pull that back up, where is it? Most of its money comes from dividends tax rate rather than income tax rate. And the income tax rate is the vast majority of pops. The main thing that's going to impact their standard of living, while dividends tax rate is mostly going to impact, you know, the capitalist class, which isn't necessarily going to suck up, which isn't going to have their standard of living really as negatively impacted as a result at the end of the day. So in many ways, I'd actually rather tax the dividends more than the direct income in this case, just because of standard of living changes. Again, it gets us less money. In fact, even right now, it says that we would be losing about 11.1K with our current tax level. However, again, standard of living increase is the big thing, and that has its own benefits. The reality is, I've been able to, after passing this, lower our tax rate and still make money, so long as I'm not going on a massive construction spree. So, but if we pass per capita taxation, we're basically going to be screwing ourselves, and we won't be able to make any changes. So we really need our guys to not want to pass per capita if we can avoid it, even though it has extreme support. How much would it cost to bankroll you? 20. Jesus, that's expensive. What if I can get that? It can bring in quite a bit of money. Or not money, but it can potentially get us peaceful German unification. Russia, you stay out of this. Start bankrolling you and funding a lobby. It's gonna suck up a lot of our money. protectorate. I will send you troops. Because you need it. You apparently have none of your own. The Anti-Russian Society has offered us an opportunity to sign a trade agreement. Sure, but that's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. Okay. Unknown ruler has organized a nationwide posturing campaign on behalf of the movement to enact per capita taxation. In some cities, there is scarcely a wall left unmarked by per capita taxation displays. Order these walls cleaned at once. Because we don't want that, guys. I already told you. Is it shown here? Here we go. So by funding a lobby, we potentially could get a pro Austro-Hungarian league going here, which could potentially push Prussia to back us. The reality is, if I just went to war with Prussia and conquered all their stuff, we'd be able to form this significantly faster. It's just, I don't really want to go that route. I think it would be more fun to do it peacefully if possible. Anti-Austro-Hungarian League is formed in the Ottomans. Okay. Not very cool of you, Ottomans. Okay, Holstein is in default for some reason. They have no military. I don't know how the hell they managed to go into default. But okay. It's way too low. We would not be a... Fine, I'll give you guys your fucking per capita taxation. Just don't complain to me when y'all have managed to fuck yourselves. Because I can tell you right now, this is exactly what's going to end up happening. You're going to end up screwing yourselves. And you'll only have yourselves to blame. Nobody would support Moldova if I attempted to annex them. Wonderful, that'll help decrease the costs of our military. Oh, Prussia decided to join. Never mind then. Okay, I guess we're not doing this peacefully because Prussia's decided to back. Moldova. Okay, fine then. Oh shit, and the Ottomans too? Well, hot damn. Why doesn't everybody just join in? Okay, well, Prussia, in this case, if you're going to decide to back them, then I'm just going to say screw it, and I want you to release Pomerania. I want you to release Danzig. And, Ottomans, you better not call in fucking Russia. Well, you shouldn't be able to. And Prussia, I'm gonna go ahead and take Silesia. You only have yourselves to blame for this. There's absolutely zero reason for you to have gotten involved in this, but for some reason you've decided to get involved. I could invite Russia to join. Hell, I could invite Serbia to join as well, which I just feel is weird to do. No, I don't really need to bring them in, so we're not going to. That's probably not really a worthwhile idea at this point, but oh well, too late now. Already told you to move. You're gonna go ahead and move anyway. Committee of publishers associated with landowners that produce incendiary pamphlets has been brought before the courts. Quietly muzzle these publishers. Another general died. What's with all my generals randomly dying now all of a sudden? We'll just leave that be, I guess. Oh yay, we actually finally got that. Wonderful. Cancel greener pastures. Okay. That'll pass before the revolution kicks off. Which is bare minimum all we need. Are you done? Jesus, I'm just trying to see what the hell you're doing. Okay. Oh, well, Serbia could get liberated, which I'd be perfectly fine with, because that means I can take them over. I would never do that as Austria. I would never invade Serbia. No, sirree. It's definitely not something that's been sitting on the back burner for ages. Mostly just because I haven't exactly gone as warmonger as I possibly could have for this campaign. If I was open to playing this in a much more aggressive manner, I would have basically taken over the entirety of the Balkans significantly sooner. I need to just sort of quickly close the front to some degree with the Ottomans so that I can try to drag some of these troops off towards Prussia. Our rival Spain continues to practice slavery. We could easily condemn them on the world stage for this. Well, obviously, we must condemn them. Okay, I think I can grab one of these guys and bring him up here now without losing any real support down here. I think you guys are going to get merged in with the 5th Army. They could stand to have the extra troops. I think after we research socialism, we're going to research pan-nationalism, because we're going to go ahead and, at this point, since we're definitely not going to be getting this done peacefully, we are going to go ahead and, oh, we're in default. That sucks. We'll figure it out. Just need you guys to hold out long enough to end the war. Now, why the fuck would I accept that? That's the dumbest fucking peace agreement ever. Hey. So the Ottomans say, hey, how about you tell Bulgaria to give us northern Thrace, you give Westphalia to Prussia, and then you take Silesia and liberate Danzig and Pomerania off of Prussia. How does that sound? I think that sounds stupid, Ottomans. That sounds absolutely stupid, and frankly, I'm shocked that the Prussians are actually willing to even consider it, because it is such a stupid agreement. I mean, I suppose in some ways it's better for them. Insofar as Silesia probably doesn't matter quite as much to them compared to Westphalia. But nonetheless, they're going to also then proceed to be forced to give up Danzig, which is like here, and then Pomerania, which is here. So, I don't know, maybe they're figuring, hey, it limits our border with Russia, so Russia's less likely to attack us or something. I really don't know what their thought process is there. But I think it's stupid. I really legitimately think it is the dumbest idea ever. We are not accepting it. We are going to finish conquering Russia so that we can offer our much more sensible, certainly from our perspective, peace treaty, which is gonna help us out a lot. You give me Silesia, and you liberate Pomerania and Danzig, and you get nothing. I think that sounds swell. Propose. Okay, so now the question is, what do we do with these guys? Well, Danzig isn't going to really hurt us too much if we just protectorate them, so we're going to protect them. Pomerania is a little bit more, but I think it's still technically manageable. It's not until you get to like 100 when you start getting cut down to size. Wars declared on you, which in Vicky 3 are significantly more annoying than they were for me in Vicky 2, so we kind of want to avoid doing that if at all possible. At least until after we form Germany, then we can just go ham and say screw everybody. That's my view of it, at least. So we're going to go and protectorate both of them, just because I do not trust Prussia to then proceed to attempt to annex them. We are broke as shit, is the nice way of phrasing it. And we will remain broke for a while. Because we significantly lack this thing called money. You can go ahead and I think join up with the 5th as well, and same with you. I'm not sure what you're doing staying down there in Thrace. This is not your location. Okay, game's just, I think, being buggy, which is not new in any way for this game. We're gonna have 0 actual peaceful support for unification. I can already tell you that right now. But we'll survive. Now, actually, I didn't look. Where does you get most of your money from? Consumption tax rates. Yay! Guess what? Consumption tax rates, relying on those is kind of stupid. Obviously, it doesn't hurt to have them, but they're just not something you should really be 100% relying on. get better. Get rid of the conscripts. I don't care for conscripts. Anybody who has conscripts, get rid of them. You have 2 extra infantry that you don't need. You're gonna send them over there. Now this should, in theory, yeah, that's going to weaken Prussia significantly. They're going to drop down to a major power rather than a great power, but I don't think it'll be enough to drop them down to a minor. Yeah, they would need to be reduced below 128 to become a minor power. At least right now. Admittedly, if the British East India Company manages to gain independence from Britain, those numbers will change significantly. Mostly because, for one thing, the British East India Company would skyrocket up to like 3rd or 4th place, depending upon where everybody's prestige is at that moment in time, but they'll shoot up there quite a bit. They may even take 2nd place as things stand right now. Because they probably have some stuff that would theoretically be able to give them more prestige if they were independent. So, yeah. That's something to watch out for. One thing I'm curious about is if we're going to end up with a very, very fractured US. When I was playing the save from the end of the last recording session for myself, the US was a giant clusterfuck. You had, what was it, New Africa or something that formed in, I think it was either Georgia or South Carolina. And then the CSA also formed, but I think they only had like Alabama, Florida, and if New Africa wasn't in Georgia, I think the CSA had Georgia as well. But yeah, and then for some reason, just the US decided, I don't really care to reconquer these. And frankly, I don't know how the US lost them. They just did. For some reason. I assume there's like a decision or an event or something probably related to the Civil War and ending slavery. Well, no, slavery's already banned, so that's not the case. I assume there's some event. I haven't played as the US in this game. I assume there's some event where there's a decision to just do that, and I frankly don't know why you would really choose that option, generally speaking, and I don't know why the US just never decided to invade them, to take them back, if it's not an event. The only reason I can see the AI for not invading them is if it's an event. If it's not, the AI realistically should have invaded them because nobody was protecting them. Nobody. The US just decided, that's too much trouble, and just didn't do it. Two Sicilies is significantly hampering our... Oh, because they changed their government type. Okay. Switch back to a monarchy, please. Should have already been a monarchy. Thank you. You had a 58% chance of success, so my expectations are high. Damn, Prussia really wants our wine. They are spending a lot of money for that. Unless I completely misread that, I swear it said 34, and then the next person was like 1 for the productivity. Does Prussia just not have any vineyards or something? Because it just seems weird that they would be willing to pay so much money for wine. You have 3 more than you can use for infantry, so ship those off to those guys. Oh, France has decided to embargo. God damn it, France. Anytime I try to sell you shit, you embargo me. We're going to go ahead and rival Prussia because we are clearly not going to be on good terms with Prussia anymore. It's just not happening. At this point, it is physically impossible to get Prussia to back us. Okay. For whatever reason you guys want to be my friends, it's probably not happening, but more power to you. God, that's a lot of... I need a lot more. Oh, apparently I thought I queued up government administration here. Apparently not. Okay. How far off are we? 59. Now 4 should suffice. Oh, wasn't Britain and France or Russia at war? Yes, they are, and the war is going in whose favor? Looks like Britain. Russia's war support is lower. Although it does not look as though the chances are super high that Russia is going to lose. This is probably going to end in a white peace, but it's going to be a very drawn-out war, potentially. But I see that ending in a white peace. That requires steamers. We don't really have steamer production going. We'll get that started now, though. Also, stop subsidizing buildings. Jesus, why are we subsidizing anything? The only thing I want to be subsidizing at this moment in time would be the Suez Canal and the railway. Literally anything else I don't care to subsidize. $1877 for that, okay. What is my truce end with you? $1876. Okay, we are potentially going to be launching a unification play in 1876, 1877. Prussia may or may not be the target of it. I've had some times where for some reason Prussia doesn't get involved in the unification play on the side of the people being, well, conquered. Would be the straightforward way to describe it. I'm really not sure why that happens. I don't really care for either of those, to be completely honest. Oh, and don't mind me, Prussia. Or not Prussia, Russia. Don't mind me. I'm not potentially preparing for future endeavors. Wait, am I actually on reasonably decent relations with Britain for once? Holy shit, we are. Okay, Britain, how do you feel about being friends with Germany? We're not Germany yet, we'll be shortly, don't worry. You'll be able to start making, well, I guess technically you already sort of could, realistically, actually, if you wanted to. Start making Blackadder jokes about being as British as Queen Victoria. But that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time, where we will be... I've said it a million times, I'm pretty sure. Trying to balance the budget. We've got a shit ton of money we're losing in interest. We need to find a way to, you know, stop losing a shit ton of money. How much is it we're losing right now, again? 56.6 thousand is going towards interest. And I'm pretty sure this is weekly. This is your weekly budget. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. We would much rather get rid of that if at all possible. So yeah, we would need to find a way to make some money. Yeah, so, okay, that's something to deal with. Oh, Silesia is a unincorporated region. Let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then I'm going to override that save that we just made. Unincorporated states don't get you money. Or at least, you know, it's impacted quite a bit due to being unincorporated. Here we go. Let's see. Unincorporated states are subject to the following effects. Minus 10% market access price impact, aka MAPI. Minus 50% universal pop political strength, which I'd be fine with. Minus 33% minimum expected standard of living, which I'm fine with. Minus 25% infrastructure. Minus 50% conscriptable battalions. Minus 10% manufacturing industries throughput. Minus 10% government structures throughput. Minus 10% military buildings throughput. Basically, we kind of don't really want to... Oh, also, it mentions there that it doesn't mention it here under the are subject to the following effects, but at the very top, it very clearly indicates on the upside for them that they are exempt from taxation. We are missing out on money because we're not taxing in Silesia, and Silesia has a fairly decent GDP, as we very clearly see here. It is 7.2% of the Austro-Hungarian GDP. We need to start taxing here very much because we are missing out on stuff by not taxing it. So yeah, that's something to watch out for. But yeah, so I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.